my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, miss you every day. You like my oxygen, make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, break you in and break you out. In the end, we're gonna make it.
Dionna, welcome back to another edition of All Time High. We've both been out traveling a bit. The market, not unlike our airplanes, has been up and down all over the place. What is going on with you these days?
Man, just enjoying a great summer. The market is definitely, I don't want to say all over the place, but, you know, up and down and doing the volatility thing. Me personally, I really enjoyed taking this summer and being able to go to an OG wedding for crypto with Tatiana Morez, who is one of the
you
original.
Went to a crypto wedding? I didn't know they had such things. I mean, we got to talk about this.
Shoot. Are you kidding me? Did you not know? Well, you know Brock Pierce, right?
Yeah.
So him and his wife had a smart contract marriage, and every year they had a wedding, and every year they got remarried until they decided not to.
Wait, Brock Pierce of Mighty Ducks fame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how his
smart
first wife
contract. What, basically a prenup, or what are we talking here?
No. It's just every year. It's a 1-year contract for their marriage. So
and how many years did they make it?
I think 5 or 6, maybe.
And then either person could opt out, I guess.
Yeah, either person could opt out. They just wouldn't renew. Like and they've split up and they've gone their separate ways, but every year they had a wedding. So, I mean, you know, crypto people are always going to find a way. For Tatiana, she's down in Miami. She's an OG singer, started singing about Bitcoin back in 2013, has traveled the world doing it. So with her wedding, it was great seeing all the old faces. A lot of people haven't seen people coming up from Puerto Rico, which is like kind of Bitcoin haven. So it was fun. It was a crypto summer, I guess you could call it.
I mean, who sings at a crypto singer's wedding? There's only one person, right? It's Adam Sandler. It has to be from the wedding singer.
Yes.
No? Who sang at her wedding?
No wedding singer this time. No wedding singer this time.
Have you seen Happy Gilmore 2? We have to.
I started watching it actually. I don't do much TV. I made it halfway through. I actually thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I did too. I've heard mixed reviews. Very nostalgic for me. It kind of brought it back. And it was somewhere like between the Hunger Games towards the end when like different things are happening on the golf course. Yeah. But the cameos that they brought in of the actual golfers, if you haven't seen it, Scotty Scheffler steals the show. His willingness to do things, you know, given the predicament that he found himself in last year being in jail for this particular show, is just remarkable. And he pulls it off with an uncanny knack that you don't see from what you would otherwise think of as a professional golfer. The guy has got some acting skills. So highly recommend it from here. Do you give it a thumbs up or thumbs down?
I give it a thumbs up so far, especially since I took up golf. I love John Daly. So like, it was fun. Oh, yeah. It was just I recommend it. I haven't finished it, but I recommend it.
Yeah. The ending, it's good. It's a little bit hokey, but what do you do with the sequel? What do you do? I mean, even Empire Strikes Back had some wild endings. I mean, even the great ones have some difficulties meeting up to the original. Well, speaking of meeting up to the original, let's talk about this smartly. The market cap was getting close for the entire market to 4 trillion. We didn't quite make it. It's sitting today as we speak at 3.7 trillion.
Okay.
We have reached an all-time high in the market cap, and I'm looking at it knowing that of that 3.7 trillion, Bitcoin is 2.25 trillion of that number, sitting at $113,000 right now. Yeah, but it's been much higher than that recently. And so as we start this episode, we're kind of seeking alpha. Like, how do we, in a choppy chop environment, secure a greater return on the investments that we'd otherwise be making? Do you want to do the disclaimers now or later?
Yeah, no, we can do them now. We just want you guys to know this is for entertainment value. These are our opinions and only our opinions. We are not financial advisors. However, we are hilarious. So if you continue to watch us, I mean, we think we're funny. If you continue to watch us, you're going to have a good time. You're going to learn a little bit of stuff, but don't necessarily take what we say as gospel. Don't risk more than you can lose, and definitely do your own research before you invest in anything.
Well said. And I will add to that.
Hit the subscribe.
Hit the subscribe and like button
right down there.
This is about, kind of like leveling the playing field, and then we sell out to the YouTube algorithm. We're just trying to engage with the right people who are interested in the alpha that we bring. If you go back and look at recent episodes, we've been able to connect a few of the dots ahead of the game as it was being played. Like, nail the stuff doesn't mean that we will next time, doesn't mean we will this time, but certainly the way we think about the markets affords the opportunity to be strategic. It affords the opportunity to participate and engage in some of the utility that I continue to look for. Dionna, probably the biggest news since we last talked is that the Genius Act was passed and signed into law.
Yeah, it was. And I'm curious to see what happens now. I mean, obviously it's, stable coins, so it's not a huge influx on the market. And I do think that it changed staking a little bit, right? So now you might see not as much going on because I don't think you're allowed to do that anymore, but it's good for the market overall. It'll be fun to see what kind of things come out, what kind of opportunities now that this entire infrastructure has to be supported by banks.
I think someone asked me about it. The railroad tracks are now being laid down. The ability to build the rails to guide this new economy forward are going to be established. Some banks will do it actively. You can see it right now. Some banks will do it reluctantly. Some banks will never do it. And I don't think it's set up so that it's going to put banks out of business for failure to participate. It's just going to be able to help them attract a different set of customers. And as we talked about in a previous edition, if they are able to secure customers that are willing to hold crypto in their banking accounts, the banks are going to get all the yield. So it's a very attractive product for them.
Oh yeah. I wonder if this helps settlement time too, right? Like if we start introducing, I mean, that's one of the biggest things about crypto is that if you do an ACH right now, if I write a check, it takes a couple days. If I do ACH, it's like 3 to 5 days to clear. If they start messing around with stable coins, I wonder if you start getting rid of some of that time and it starts going a little bit faster, which could be nice for the consumer.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, and settlement times are going to become faster and faster, which will help with liquidity.
Yeah.
Allowing it to be soaked up a little bit. Well, actually, it'll actually allow businesses to deploy more capital more aggressively if they choose to.
Yeah.
But I don't know that the banks are going to custody the crypto. That's another act that they're working on right now. And some people are talking about that coming in as early as September. And if you're paying attention, like I was, the House of Reps passed both the bills, and the Genius one went to the president for signature. And the other bill, which is more some of the nuance here, not just the stablecoin, the one that passed was the stablecoin. It's actually sent back to the Senate for them to pass it. So there is a great need for us to absorb some of the liquidity. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about where you see the opportunities in the market. Because I know Saturday it dipped. And I will tell you, I bought the dip. And I'll share with you a little bit later in this episode why it was that I bought the dip. But I want to hear what you're thinking about in terms of where we are in the chop. I mean, there is no team sideways, and we're kind of in this sideways market right now. People like it when it goes up. People hate it when it goes down, but we're in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to be clear, this is typical in financial markets. I don't think you'll ever find a market anywhere that has not gone up and down, even when you go to the dollar, right? Like we've had the Great Depression, we've had recessions. We're even in a time right now where the dollar is not as valuable as it used to be. So this volatility in markets, while it's more stable in actual currencies, digital currencies offer the opportunity for you to buy the dip. So let's think about this for a minute. We know that the government just went into saying that they can custody crypto. We know that Texas says they can custody crypto. Wyoming says you can custody crypto. What was it, Montana? There's one more that says you can do it. So 3 states, the U.S. government, that's 4 entities. And don't forget, Texas is the 7th largest economy in the world, right? Bitcoin is number 6. Texas is number 7. And so when you're saying that some of the largest economies in the world are now going to be buying up and holding digital reserve currencies, it hasn't even started happening yet. So I'm not.
Let me give you some others. You're talking about states and federal, which I love, but start thinking about companies. Wait till Apple and PayPal's already dropped the deal. They're actually doing this.
Oh, really?
And they should. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, man, doesn't like BlackRock and all those
Think
guys?
if Amazon does something. Wait till Amazon. Oh, yeah. And anyway, go ahead. I didn't mean to slow your roll.
They got in early. No, they got in early. Everybody's going to make a lot of money off of this. The question is, are you paying attention so you can make money too? Because all the other people are set up to do it. This is definitely coming. So where are you getting in at? Like what's the opportunity? To me, Bitcoin's always number one. That's the long game.
I don't see it as a lifetime number one. I'm just,
No?
you know,
Are you going to
no.
go XRP on me? Okay.
I own both. I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to, but technology matters in the end, right?
Yeah.
So that it matters in the end to me. And I don't, just because you helped us get here in some ways doesn't mean that's how you stay here.
Right.
I think the institutions very much want to support it. The fact that it doesn't have an entity or a person that you can trace it back to, in the end, to me, harms it. I think it's a great onboarding experience, but I know, right? The libertarians think, oh, well, the code drives the deal. Well, at the end of the day, I do want some level of human intervention. That's me personally. It doesn't mean that's you. And I know there's a lot of Bitcoin. I'm going to get some Bitcoin love and I'm going to get some Bitcoin hate. I love Bitcoin. I have no problem with Bitcoin, but I'm just going to say that I don't think it continues to be the end all be all, because when we get to a $10 trillion asset class, which is where I think it goes to at a minimum, no guarantees. I mean, right now, like we said, it's 3.6, 3.7.
Sure.
When it goes, and so if you invest in an asset class at 3.7 and it goes to 10, it could triple approximately whatever it is that you're doing. But there are going to be some winners and there are going to be some major losers, because there's over 2,000, there might be 10,000 coins. And I don't think at the end of the day that there's more than 20 that make it through. That's me. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. So I take the counter argument on Bitcoin, right? Okay. Because so first off, there is a governing body to Bitcoin. I don't know if you realize this. There's an actual board that is over the code, because years ago there was an issue with block size. So there was, the network got too big and it got too congested and settlement times were too long. And so the question was how to fix it. Now in the white paper, Satoshi lays out, take the block size from 1 megabyte to 2 megabyte, and that should solve the problem. But what happened was they got in an argument, and that's where Roger Ver broke off and made Bitcoin Cash, because he took the Bitcoin protocol and made the fix he thought, and the rest of the governing board went and made it with the 2 megabyte. So there is human interaction. Bitcoin was not just made and done, and there's nothing that can be done. It is an open source code. It is very limited. And if you were to do anything gigantic to it, it causes a hard fork, right? Which means you kind of just split the coin and you start your own thing. So where I think the opposite side of that is, let's say XRP. There's a CEO for XRP. I don't know anybody who hasn't seen the HR CEO scandal. Is there no CEO for XRP?
No, I understand. XRP is the crypto. Ripple is a company.
Okay, my apologies. My apologies.
Yeah, I know, nuance. Yeah, but you nuanced me on Bitcoin, so I just nuanced you on XRP.
Yeah, but there is no company that owns Bitcoin. There's a board that governs the code. So is that what we're saying Ripple is?
I'm saying Ripple owns 42 billion XRPs, and at large, there's 58 billion XRPs out in the world right now.
Right, but you could trace it to one person made it. You can find who made that code. Anyways, whenever
I think it was David Schwartz that made it, or he and Arthur Brito along with Jed McCaleb, right? There's 4 Satoshis, I think, and there's 3 creators of XRP.
So now you go back to one of the reasons why Bitcoin has never been able to be contained is because they've never been able to put pressure on one specific person to suppress it. You've never had one specific person, aside from maybe Ross Ulbricht, bring a really bad name to Bitcoin, although he made the first use case as well. So when you look at like that whole CEO HR scandal that just happened, right? You have one CEO.
You talking about Coldplay?
Yes, I was sorry. It blew up on my feed so bad. I was like, really? But that poor guy. But CEO, one action, one determination. I'm sure he tanked his company. So when you start tying humans to these projects and you start tying humans to financial stuff, I think you add risk, right? You're adding an element there because now you have somebody you can go after. You have somebody who can bring bad names to it. You have somebody who can taint it a little bit. And that makes it harder to be the dominant one.
It also can add value, right? If you have...
Unless you go to Coldplay.
With the HR VP.
So
and you get picked off and you're on camera in front of the stage. Have you seen now at baseball parks and basketball games, they've replaced the kiss cam with a Coldplay cam?
Oh no, did they?
Have you seen these things?
And so they close
it. Yeah. And so the couples are like trying to get noticed, like you normally would be kiss cam and you would kiss. Now they get noticed and they scramble away and hide from the screen. So
great for Coldplay. It's genius for them.
Oh my gosh. They become conversational, and bad for
The most
the
popular
company.
they've ever been.
Did you see the vignette that Gwyneth Paltrow did after?
No.
Okay, that's another
Okay.
episode.
Yeah.
I may find it in a second,
Yeah.
but let's.
Back
You
to
you
what
threw
to
me a
buy.
curveball there. You threw a curveball. I love it. It's good. That's good stuff. We got the Coldplay issue on the table now. This may become the
Yeah.
Coldplay episode. Go ahead.
Okay. So I say Bitcoin. I say Bitcoin because of the human interaction. I
Yeah.
also say Bitcoin because of the utility. There is no other crypto that has the reach and the utility of Bitcoin at this moment. There's just nothing. There's nothing else that's seen as a digital asset, as a currency, the way Bitcoin is. And so maybe these other things are going to come in and solve the problems. And maybe they'll come in and find their use case or their utility in a way. But I think when it comes to an actual financial currency, Bitcoin's leading the way, and it's going to stay that way.
I think Bitcoin's like gold. I mean, that's the way they
Same.
marketed forever.
Forever.
So
Digital gold.
that's fine. I just don't think it has the computing power behind it. And what by that specifically, I mean the transactions per second that will allow it to sustain in an environment where that's a key consideration for utility. That's so I may be 5 years out on this. So I'm not trying to dispel today in your notion, but I am saying
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. Even for the coin that has the greatest traction in that particular thing, people still don't buy stuff with Bitcoin. It's still a speculative asset. So people are holding it, they're buying it, holding it, anticipating it's going to go up in value. I worked for digital payments. I worked for GoCoin. It was a second payment processor in crypto, right? First one to take altcoins. People don't pay in crypto unless you're doing a very large transaction. Like there was a diamond jeweler who made custom jewelry for the Oscars. He would take payment in Bitcoin. And in those instances, it makes sense. But for the normal day-to-day person, they're just not there yet.
And so I'm very fascinated by growth. And as I look at the asset class go from 3.6 trillion to 10 trillion in my mindset, note today, I said earlier in the episode, I think Bitcoin's 2.5 of the 3.6, 3.7.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, what's that? 70% of it. So for there to be upside in this space, even if Bitcoin were to grow to 4 trillion, I believe we will see, not financial advice, do your own research, that the other assets, the alts, if you will grow from that, let's call it less than $1 trillion to closer to 6 trillion. So I see some of the alpha in the alts.
Yeah.
And I have a way to go ahead.
You're still going to hit the 21 million at some point, right? I think September of 2026, I think is when we're supposed to hit it. I'll have to go back and check my math on that one, but you're going to hit the 21 million. And so just think, all these people are buying and holding with the anticipation that this, it's going to keep going up. Now you're going to hit scarcity. So you're going to have utility, you're going to have scarcity, and you're going to have the biggest. So to me, Bitcoin is the one that is going to continue moving no matter what. Like and you think it's already been, 2008 it came out. So you're talking 17 years. 17 years, they haven't been able to stop it. They haven't been able to contain it. People have tried. The C word tried. You know what I mean? And they didn't get it done. And they're pretty good at stuff. So
a lot of they are pretty good.
I'm bullish on Bitcoin. So what's your second one aside from XRP? Because we know that one already. But like, what's your diamond in the rough? Oh,
so the diamond
chart. Bring it up.
Oh yeah, I got the chart.
Love it.
This chart's a very helpful chart, and this one is 5 hours old, so it's good.
Perfect.
I note and I've noted this with Sol, and I've noticed it with Sui, and it's timing. So the timing matters.
Yep.
Recently, ETH has been on a lot of lips that are coming out of conversations at Bloomberg, a lot of conversations that are coming out of CNBC, a lot of other social influencers that are in this space are starting to say ETH, invest, and even I won't even go there, but one of the presidential son, we're doing a good job on this episode, making sure that we don't get censored. But he mentioned again, buying ETH makes a lot of sense. And I've just heard it on a lot of lips. I'd liquidated it previously because it is not a USA coin. But as I hear all the venture capital start to talk about a particular product, my ears perk up and I start to listen on that one.
Yeah.
So I do see it here. So here's what happened this weekend. You see these charts here? We've talked about in another episode, Marty Party is the name of the Twitter handle. I've subscribed. I follow. He's adding enough value for me to be able to make things happen for me with my tolerances and risk level. Can I walk you through at least one of these? Which one of these?
Yeah,
you want to go Bitcoin style?
Let's do, what had the greatest, I don't know, pick one. Go ahead, pick one.
Well, I'm going to go to ETH then, because that way we'll stay off Bitcoin and XRP. We'll stay out of our own way in that regard.
I like it.
But what happens is Wintermute works in combination not only with Binance, but also with Coinbase, verifiably, because all the transactions are on the blockchain. And what you see below are the liquidation levels for call options. And what I look at are the orange levels. And so it's pretty clear to me on ETH, because of below the line are where the call options get liquidated. The orange are heavier liquidation levels. So I expect if we see that number at the bottom, 3340, do you see that?
Yeah.
That the liquidation level for ETH, it's going to go down because it's set up with a lot of orange. BNB is also set up with a lot of orange. That's Binance.
Yeah.
And so you'll see that the exchanges work together to liquidate the assets on these call options so they can maximize their profit. For retail, it's called the max pain theory. And because there are no rules or regs that govern this international aspect of what transpires, they're free to do this. And I'm telling you for a fact, for the record, not conjecture, Coinbase is participating in this. And so until this secondary group of legislation gets passed, the only way to win in this game, as far as I'm concerned, is to buy the dips.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. When we're looking at this chart on these orange ones, we're saying that there's orders on the books that if the price hits that, they want to sell, right? On the exchanges, which is a little different than when
they'll be forced to sell.
Say that they're encouraged to sell?
No, so they buy these options because the order book is visible.
Right.
That's what this particular person has done. He's put the order books out there and said, hey, these are the liquidation levels for all these accounts. This is a trading view chart. Right. And so if you look at ETH, the liquidation level that it looks like is going to happen around 3,400 is pretty substantial. And
right.
So because there's that heavy orange line there in between where they are today, which is what, 3,684.
Yeah.
All the way, they're going to liquidate this at some point in the near future because the exchanges will make more money. So the fresh money that comes in for retail, this has been one of the things that's been slowing down crypto, in my opinion, because if you buy on one of the upticks, right, and then they wash trade the market, you're out. I mean, and wash trade is not the right word. It's wash out the market. Sure. They liquidate the long call options. They liquidate the short call options. They liquidate all the call options. It's easier to do. And you can see the thresholds, not only for ETH, I pointed out 3,400 is kind of a level. I mean, as we look at this, if I see XRP hit 285, I'm buying. If I see SWE, it looks like their level is kind of like 335. And I look at Sol, it's likely it'll hit 158.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done a lot of incredible work there. And he's had an uncanny knack to date to being right. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research. My risk tolerance is not yours. Sure.
Well, I mean, it's smart to listen to the people who have some of this information because the way we're seeing it and understanding it now is the exchanges are really calling all the shots, right?
They are.
It's still a little bit of a manipulative market as much as some people don't want to admit that necessarily. And you get enough money and power behind any type of cryptocurrency and it's going to take off. You have to have the utility to sustain it, but any type of hype can make any cryptocurrency take off. So I like that chart. That chart was pretty neat. Like I have some friends that I just talked into doing Bitcoin. Actually, I want to tell you, I had them go through Cash App. I think Cash App changed. I don't think they're custody in crypto anymore because when you go to Cash App now, you actually have to put in your Bitcoin wallet address where it used to create one for you. Okay. Now you have to go. So it was kind of a pain. So I don't necessarily recommend Cash App for anybody anymore. But when we're introducing crypto to these people and people are interested in making money on it, teaching them these charts, I think is extremely valuable.
Yeah. And I shared it with one person who expressed interest and was very analytical. And, I've had other friends come to me and I've said, hey, now might be a good time, but don't blame me when it goes bad. And guess what they do? They blame me when it goes bad. And it's not cool at all. And the way it's playing right now is as things creep up and people start to get that envy and they want to buy in, they start buying these local tops. And we haven't yet had a blow off top in this particular sector. Altcoin season really hasn't happened. It has for a couple of coins independently, But do you see an alt season this year, or do you think it's going to be
not until a substantial use case? I mean, you know, we were talking about one of the companies I just started working for. I think their use case is really fascinating. We can get into it in another episode. But if you don't have the utility behind it, I just think they're gonna get left behind right now. And a lot of them don't, unfortunately. They're heavy, it's hard to use, it's not an easy technology to get into. You know what I mean? So they have all these things that they have to jump over in order to make that happen. So no, I don't see alt season coming. You know, a year ago, Bitcoin was only 45,000. It's up 130%.
Yeah.
Right.
I also know meme coins. I've bought some from time to time. Proud owner of Doge, proud owner of Peanut. Not today.
Yeah.
But at different points of time. I don't know where the meme market's going to go this time through. I don't know where the NFT market's going to go through. Do you have an idea on that?
I don't.
Maybe close us out?
I think it just, I mean, I haven't messed with them as much. I still see some NFT stuff here and there. But since I dove into AI, I haven't been as inundated with it. But I just don't see anything fresh on the market. I don't see any new really cool use cases. And maybe AI stole the attention from crypto. You know what I mean? And now it's like, it's that crypto thing. I think we'll start seeing a combination of the two of them together, and that's going to be a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, and let's do that, if not the next episode, very soon, coming soon to a theater near you on All Time High.
That's right.
Dionna, thanks again.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my